Folks, if people ask you to name Star Wars games, it's easy to hit the big ones, the stars, the best of the best. Ask any fan to list some off and you'll undoubtedly hear KOTOR, KOTOR 2, Battlefront 2, Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast, Empire at War. There's a ton of games that span a ton of genres. There's been so many games over the years that it's easy to forget where we came from and how far we've come, both with Star Wars games and video games as a whole. Luckily, I'm here to remind you. Welcome to Holocron Hoard, a channel with a simple mission: to play every Star Wars game ever made and find the best one. Today, we're going to look at the very first Star Wars video game ever made, the Empire Strikes Back game for the Atari 2600. We're going to look at its history, its gameplay, we're not going to look at its story, but we're going to talk about whether the game is good and fun, and what's probably going to be one of the shortest videos that will grace this journey that we're on. If you like the video, like and subscribe, leave a comment. You can write whatever you want down there. You can write papaya for all I care. It helps the channel a ton. I'm trying to not make this plug longer than the video itself. Let's go. Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back is a game developed by Parker Brothers. Originally released for the Atari 2600 in 1982 and then the Intellivision in 1983, the game is fairly simple in concept. You, piloting a cluster of pixels vaguely resembling a Hoth snowspeeder, in-universe modified T-47 speeders that the Rebel Alliance used on Hoth, are tasked with taking out as many Imperial walkers as you can before they either reach the Rebel base or you lose all your lives, represented by snowspeeders. You as a pilot have 5 speeders available to you at the start of the game, and losing them all ends the game. The bottom of the screen is your radar. It shows you where the AT-ATs are. These will shoot at you. You can only damage them with body or head shots, so no tripping maneuvers in this game. And your snowspeeder takes like 5 shots or so to die. I say or so because it actually isn't consistent, and sometimes you can be destroyed in fewer than 5 hits. Both your snowspeeder and the AT-ATs will change color when they're damaged, but you can repair a snowspeeder up to 2 times by landing it in the valleys at the bottom of the screen. While you only take up to 5 hits, it takes nearly 50, not an exaggeration, to kill an AT-AT, with a special exemption if you hit a flashing colored square on the walkers, which indicates a bomb hatch. That'll instantly explode these guys. Importantly, every single time you kill a walker, it spawns a new, faster, stronger walker. And I guess that's important to note in general. You actually don't win this game. There is no positive end state. It is, in classic old game fashion, play until you lose. Something else crazy about this game is that it has a secret power-up mode. If you manage to keep your snowspeeder alive for 2 minutes, you'll get an audio cue that you've unlocked the Force for 20 seconds, which makes your speeder invulnerable. You can get in there and just blast walkers. This also resets the repairs on your speeder. In addition to this, there are variations on the basic game. I guess this is as good a time as any to give a brief overview of what the Atari 2600 actually is, because I bet a lot of people watching aren't familiar. On the 2600, you have a switch for power, a switch for whether or not your TV is color or black and white, 2 difficulty switches, 1 for each player, a game select button, and a game reset button. The game select button is the important one here. The difficulty switch in this game, to the best of my view, was just shrinking the repair area available for fixing your speeder. The actual difficulty comes from increasing the number on the game select. Game 1 to 4 is just normal Empire Strikes Back mode. 1 is the easiest, 4 is the hardest. 5 to 8 turns on something called smart bombs, which are bombs that try and track your speeder, essentially. You can shoot these down or last long enough to make them go away. 9 to 12 makes the walkers solid objects, meaning you can't fly through their bodies like you usually can. But you can weaken a walker down to purple, at which point you can fly into it to destroy the walker. Game select 13 to 16 combines smart bombs and solid walkers, so 16 is the hardest difficulty it can be, with a scaling range of 4 plus smart bombs plus walkers. There's also 17 to 32, which follows the exact same pattern as what I just described, but is 2 players instead of single player. In 2-player mode, pilots take alternating turns controlling a speeder. Overall, look, this is an Atari 2600 game. It's enjoyable enough for what it is. I really like the audio it's got going on. And power to them for portraying a lot with a little in terms of what these machines were capable of. But actually, before I render a review, let's just get something out of the way real quick. You pilot a snowspeeder on Hoth, trying to stop Imperial walkers from reaching the Rebel base. You can't win this game. The Rebels didn't win Hoth. Sounds canon to me. Anyone who disagrees, fight me. But in the comments, please, because engagement. Okay, let's wrap up this video. Going back and playing Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600 is kind of a cool experience. It's really enlightening to see how far games truly have come. You always kind of know, but to go back and really play it to experience it, especially juxtaposed next to all the other Star Wars games I've been playing, there is some kind of cool feeling to be had. This is absolutely a game where you need a manual. I found one on archive.org because you will be totally unable to parse what's going on without one. But the manual was helpful, and I had a few solid minutes of fun with the game before I went, okay, I think I've seen all I can do. The game can be quite challenging. You should know going in. That's all all these games had back then, so they had to do it, and I get it. But eventually, that challenge will make you turn the game off. And if I'm honest, once you turn it off, it's probably not getting turned back on. This is a one and done. When I consider it next to all the other Star Wars games I've played, I mean, look, this kind of feels not fair because it's such a product of its time, but you gotta know that most of these games are better. That doesn't degrade the legacy of any old video games, and hell, there are many old video games outside of Star Wars that I would say are better than some of the games on this list. It's just kind of true that thanks to the passage of time, we've gotten a lot better at making games. I do, however, think this game is better than Flight of the Falcon, so congratulations to it on that. I'm going on vacation these next few weeks, so expect a few more Atari 2600 reviews coming down the pipe. They were all really easy to just get out and get made. I think with those in the bag, I might just go ahead and finish all Star Wars games from the 80s and then do some kind of like worst to best of the 80s ranking video too. If that's something you like the sound of, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.